Welcome in everyone to LubbockOnline.com. I'm Shannon Wilson and this is Zach Long. And today we are going to preview Ironman 70.3 Buffalo Springs Lake. And Zach, this is a very special year for the triathlon, isn't it?
Absolutely, Shannon. You know, it's hard to believe that it's the 25th year of the Buffalo Springs Triathlon, and it's grown from very simple routes to now one of the most feared and challenging 70.3 courses in the world. And earlier this week, we had the chance to go sit down with Mike and Marty Greer, the heart and soul of this triathlon, and kind of get the story of the 25 years of this. And we have that video up right now at LubbockOnline.com. So please take time to watch that, especially if you've been in Lubbock all 25 years of this. It's really kind of a nostalgic trip down memory lane and shows you the hard work that's went into making this, like I said, one of the most feared 70.3 courses in the world.
Zach, let's start with the men's pro field. Are we in for some fireworks this year?
I think so, Shannon, absolutely. It's really one of the deepest pro fields that I've seen during my 6 years of covering this race, and it's a deep field. When I had to cut this down to a few names to mention on camera, it was almost painful because we have some big-time names here, but we're going to do our best to dig in and give you some of the people I think they're going to have a chance at the podium and maybe getting a win out there at Buffalo Springs Lake. And let's start first with a couple of new names. They're going to be first-timers here in Lubbock, but they're very well-known names in the triathlon community, and of course I'm talking about Jesse Thomas and Jordan Rapp. And of course Jesse Thomas, he won last week at Mount Tremblant, which is also the host of this year's 70.3 World Championships. He's in a position right now, he's trying to earn points to get himself into that championship, so a little pressure right now. He responded well last week and won that 70.3 race, and he'll be in here this week and see if he can make it 2 in a row, which is very tough to do, especially when your body has went through that abuse to win a race. But he's going to try to make it number 2 this week at Buffalo Springs. And Jordan Rapp, I think most people in the triathlon community know exactly who I'm talking about there. Multi-Ironman winner, including Ironman Texas. He has a lot of experience winning in this state. He was, of course, the 2011 ITU Long Course World Champion, but this is his first time at Buffalo Springs Lake, and if there's one lesson I've learned the last 6 years is there's a rude awakening waiting everyone here in this race. It's the first time. There's a lot of lessons to be learned, but Jordan Rapp is a world-class athlete. It'll be very interesting to see how he does here. Down the list, and I hate to say down the list, Leon Griffin, 2008 Buffalo Springs Lake Triathlon champion. This guy's a gamer. He is a threat to win every race that he's in. He had a great weekend last weekend. He's going to be in here again, and he is a definite threat to win this race. Tim Reed, another great triathlete. He was second last year at Buffalo Springs. If he'd had a few more miles in that race, he may have chased down Greg Bennett, and Greg Bennett kind of admitted that. A very good runner. He has finished no worse than 5th in any race he has ran in 2014. That's impressive. Down the list a little bit further, Patrick Evo, Louisville area athlete, very experienced here. He's been here multiple times, and anyone who's done that, they're a threat to win this race. It'll be interesting to see how he does. He's very good at the Ironman distance. Brandon Marsh, of course, the Texan. A lot of people know who that is. He was 8th at Ironman Texas earlier this year. A very good Texas-based triathlete. I look for him to be in contention as well. Down the list, a couple more names you need to know about. Mark Bosted. He's been here multiple times. He knows this course really well. He had a nice weekend last week at Tri-Rock, Philadelphia. Got 4th place there. I look for him to be in that contention for a podium late in the race. Drew Scott, a name that people in Lubbock know. I mean, he came here as an amateur 2 years ago and had the fastest time in this race. Difference now is he has to race with the pros. He was injured last year during his first year as a pro triathlete, so it'll be very interesting to see what Drew Scott does racing against the pros at Buffalo Springs. And finally, Joe Thorne, another name you got to watch, a very lethal run. Guy can flat get after it. He was an age group winner at Kona in 2011. And I know, Shannon, that's a lot of names I just went through right there, and there's a lot of more names on this list that could be in contention, but I think those are the ones you're going to look at for possible podium positions when it's all said and done on Sunday.
Now, how about the women's pro field, Zach? We have returning champion Angela Nath coming back. What do you think is her stance in this race?
I think it's very good right now, to be honest with you. Angela Nath is on a roll right now. She has figured things out in her career and her life, and she is a threat to every single race that she starts. She's the defending champion, of course, of Buffalo Springs Lake, and she won it easily last year. I know you put out a lot of pain to win a triathlon. She really made it look easy. She hammered the bike. That is her specialty. She is a threat to win this race. She's coming off a win at Hawaii 70.3, and she's been training out in Hawaii. And as we've heard in the video, if you go watch Mike and Marty's video we did this week, people compare Lubbock to Kona because of the brutal conditions. So I'd say that right there puts her in a prime position. But the women's field not quite as deep as the men's field, but there is some youth here, and youth is dangerous because they have a lot of energy, and this is a race that they could really make a mark in. One name, though, that's not exactly, you can't call youthful because one of the best triathletes in the world, that's Margaret Shapiro, a decorated Olympic distance athlete, currently 16th in the 70.3 point standings to go to the championships in Mount Tremblant. She is a dangerous person. I look for her and Angela Nath to have one heck of a battle on Sunday. Some other names to keep an eye on, though, Shannon. Jeannie Seymour, a very young triathlete, but she was here last year. She finished 5th in this race, and like I said, experience pays off a ton at Buffalo Springs. I look for Jeannie Seymour to be in contention as well. Some other names, and these are going to be very new, but you better watch them. Lauren Barnett won her pro debut. In her first pro race at New Orleans 70.3, she won it. I cannot tell you how impressive that is. That is a definite threat to win here this week if she gets things to go the right way. Another name, Corey Christick. She was the first place amateur last year at Buffalo Springs in the female division. She is now a pro. She's had a good start. Her pro debut at Galveston 70.3, she came in 6th. She knows this course. That's a name that could surprise some people and maybe end up there on the podium at the end of the day. And one more, a very young triathlete just coming in, Elizabeth Noe. She is a collegiate national champion. It'll be interesting to see how she does at Buffalo Springs as well. So not as deep of a women's field, Shannon, but those are some big-time names, and I can't wait to see the showdown between Margaret Shapiro and Angela Nath.
Now, that was a lot of knowledge that you just threw at us, Zach. But who do you think, I'm going to put you on the spot, who do you think is going to win?
And that is really not fair, Shannon. I mean, I really don't know which way to go here, so I pained over this, but here's what I'm going to go to. In the women's race, I'm going to go with Angela Nath. And here's the reason why. I think it's just timing. She's set up beautifully for this race. She dominated here last year. She's been in Hawaii. She's been in tough conditions. She won Hawaii 70.3 by 3 minutes. That's an impressive mark. I think she comes here again. Don't be disgruntled if you see her coming down a little bit down on the swim. Doesn't matter. She's going to get on the bike. She's going to hammer it. I think Angela Nath is going to defend her title here at Buffalo Springs.
And Zach, what about that men's pro field? Who do you think is going to take it all there?
This is not fair. I mean, to go through this list of names, and I think it'd be a real sexy pick to go with someone like a Jesse Thomas or a Jordan Rapp. Those are very well-known names, and of course, Jesse's coming off a win last week at Mount Tremblant. But I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down the list, and these are the two names that I think you're going to see duking it out towards the end. Leon Griffin and Tim Reed. I really loved watching Tim Reed last year. He has got a lethal run, and if he's close coming off the bike, that's going to be somebody who's going to come down to the wire. But I think a little more experience is going to get it done here. Leon Griffin is racing really well right now. He's had a good 2014. I think he's primed to perform here. He's won this race. He has that confidence. I'm going to go with Leon Griffin to win in the men's pro division.
And that is going to wrap up our look at the Ironman 70.3 Buffalo Springs Lake. Be sure to check out our interview with Mike and Marty Greer online, and also stay locked and loaded with us as we will have full coverage on Sunday from the triathlon. But for now, we bid you farewell. For Zach Long, I'm Shannon Wilson, and this is LubbockOnline.com.